Today here I present a small seminar on interface, user interface. In this user interface we will see what is an interface, what are the types of interfaces that are available, and is there any examples in if you observe in real time scenario, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of user interfaces, and how to design in order to design a user interface, what are the requirements we need to fulfill to get a good user interface. User interface. Introduction. A user interface is a junction or a mediator between a user and a computer, and it is a junction between a user and a computer. That means in order to communicate a user or a person with a computer, it's very useful. User interface very useful, and it is a function of one of the operating system that allows the user directly to communicate with the computer. And if you observe the types of the user interface, so next, there are three types of user interfaces that are available. First one is command line interface, and second one is menu driven interface, and third one is graphical user interface. Let us see something about each and every interface. First of all, if you observe the command line interface, it is the first user interface at the time of releasing the computers. This user interface is the mostly used user interface at the previous times. Nowadays nobody can use this type of user interface because so many new interfaces are coming into existence. This command line interface allows the user to communicate with the computer with the help of commands. That means in instructions. For example, let us consider these commands are typed in this screen. This is where commands are typed. Let us consider an example of copy C:drive resume.txt file to D drive. That means what it does means the text file that is present in the root directory of C drive is copied into root directory of D drive. This is the command or instruction in the earlier days we will follow. These are the types of commands. Number of commands are existing. This is the command where we have to type here, and we can copy this text file from root directory of C drive to root directory of D drive. Nowadays we are not using these commands because simply we will open any file what we want to copy or anything, and by pressing Ctrl C or copy option and open the destination drive and copy those commands to destination drive. At the time of command line interface, we need to follow all these instructions. That means it tells the computer copy these text file to D drive. Before Windows was developed, this type of user interface was the most people used. But nowadays, so many people have no idea about these type of user interfaces. An example for this type of user interface is DOS, disk operating system. At these previous times, everybody should use the DOS, but nowadays so many new operating systems, new user interfaces are coming. Windows, Linux, so many user interfaces are coming into existence. So people have no idea about these interfaces nowadays. If you observe some of the advantages of this command line interface, if you know the correct command, that means if you know the correct command, this is the faster user interface to perform any action. Even if you now so many interfaces are existence, but this is the fastest giving outputs if you know the correct command, and it requires very less memory. At the same time, very low hard disk space, and at the same time CPU processing time is also very low. These are the main advantages of command line interface. And these command line interface, that means DOS works with very low resolution computer and cheaper monitor. These interface also works for low resolution cheaper monitors with this type of user interface. These user interface work with, these are so many advantages having command line interface. Next one. If you observe some of the disadvantages of command line interface, the people who have no idea about these commands, if you person has studied but no idea about these commands, then it is very difficult to operate this type of interface. So in order to work with this type of interface, the people have know about so many commands. Without knowing the commands, it is very difficult to work with this type of interface and very confusing. At the same time, if you mistype any spelling in this, for example, let us consider this command. If you misspelled any letter or even any word, the entire command will fail. And at the same time, if you come back again starting point, you will not forward. You will not. If you mistake here, then up to this command space you need to delete. This is the main drawback. And at the same time, so many commands we need to learn, so many commands we have to remember. These are the main drawbacks in this command types of user interface. Okay. Next, second one is menu driven interface. This is a type of user interface which allows the user to interact with the computer or a device with the help of menus or screens or instructions. So by using these menus and screens, it is very helpful for us. Next one. Let us think about some of the examples in our real-time situation we observe for this type of menu-driven interface. If you consider mobile phone, here actually this mobile phone was locked. If you press any key, it's not open, it's not working. So here we observe key locked. We observe an instruction. If you press any key locked, press unlock key to unlock. So if you press the unlock key, it will give another instruction, press star key to unlock. Then immediately if you press star key, keypad locked. So this is a menu, this is a screen, or you observe these instructions in order to open this lock. So after opening the lock, here we observe one screen, what it shows menu or search options. If you press the menu option, it will give some other screen, some other options. First one is calls, contacts, settings, messages. So many menus, so many options were visible. So this is very useful interface. So it is very helpful to easy to understand. Even if you know any idea about this type of interface, we can easily understand by having simple knowledge. By providing so many instructions for us, by reading these instructions, we can easily follow the next steps.